The 3 A's of clutter. It's myOrganized.life live, April 15th, 2019. What is significant about April 15th? Does it have anything to do with TAXES? Taxes. Yes, and we have filed the extension once again.
Once again, you do that every year, don't you?
I do. It's because the accountant does it every year. I have no idea even why or how he even does it. He just does.
Likes to extend it.
Yeah, because he's really busy, and I guess it gives him more time. I don't know how, but that's the way it goes. So no money for me until this fall.
All right.
But that's okay. Welcome to myOrganized.life live. This is the show where we give you organizing tips, advice, but not tax advice, because we're not accountants or CPAs or whatever you have to be a tax person, right?
Yep.
Was your dad the one who does tax returns? Okay, that's someone else I know.
Not me.
They kind of work for that H&R thing, and
no, that's not me.
Oh, okay. Well, Anyway, we hope happy tax day.
Yes.
Yeah, supposedly
you did not introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm John Hunt.
And I'm Leanne Thompson.
And now I'm not even going to go through this. Boy, it's kind of a...
You're kind of on a thing. Is your brain just...
Maybe it's the taxes. I don't know.
I'm
all taxed out.
Maybe it's the weather or the...
It could be.
Barometric pressure.
Finally
That's what
is
someone
getting
blamed
nice,
on something.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, boy, this is what happens when you have clutter of the brain, right?
Yes, and that's what we're talking about today.
Not clutter of the brain, but clutter in general.
The 3 A's of clutter.
The 3 A's of clutter. Now, we did a podcast, not so long ago, because this is episode 227, right?
Yep, 227.
So how do people find episode 227?
Go to sme.com/podcast, scroll down a little bit.
Just a little bit.
To podcast 227. And the title of the podcast is Happy Home Equals Happy You. And this is with Sandra Lane.
Yes.
But we're only going to talk about her kind of little points that she talked about, the three
A's of
clutter.
Clutter. Okay, so...
But we're just going to
really 3 A's
play one.
Yeah, how to deal with clutter.
Yes.
So let's roll this from podcast 227.
So there are several common challenge areas in a home. They are the typical spots that collect clutter, the entryway, a bedroom, those undefined spaces such as a garage and basement tend to be big storage areas for most folks. So you need to recognize where your clutter problem is and focus in on that area. And I like to break the process down into 3 A's.
The 3 A's. We got to have a list, right?
Yes, I do. The 3 A's: assess, assign, and then acquire.
Okay.
So let's go through each one of those.
All right.
Assess is taking the time to really go through what is in this space that has become such a challenge. That clutter, do you really need it? Sort and edit what you have and then release what no longer serves you. Does it not fit? Is it broken? If it's not being used? These are all questions that you ask yourself so that you can make the decision of whether or not you wish to keep it.
Okay, good. So when you're working with a client, do you do a walkthrough with them, or how do you do it? Or do you have a checklist that someone goes through and say, here are the comments areas? How do you suggest someone doing that?
Right. Well, when I work with a client, they will typically call me because they have a specific problem in mind. And then I will physically go to their home to see what they've described to me over the phone. Okay. And we will do an assessment of that space. If they are going to do this on their own, they can certainly do the same thing. They need to recognize where those trouble areas are and basically bring all those items together that are affecting that trouble area and go through that physical sort of those items. Okay. So, for example, in the case of an entryway, if you have clothes, every entryway is different. First of all, every home size is different. So if you've got items that don't really fit or can accommodate the space in that entryway, that is you making an assessment that maybe we can't have my son's hockey bag sit in the entryway. It just takes up the entire space. So we need to come up with a plan, and that plan might have to be that he enters through another doorway in the house and drops his hockey bag in the laundry room instead.
Got it. All right.
If you want to make accommodations for backpacks and shoes and coats, then you need to assess your space and really decide how much of that you want to keep and can it in fact fit.
All right, well,
There
that
you
was
go.
the first A.
The first A. There's
Assess.
2 more.
There's 2 more. That's kind of like a clickbait to get you to go to smead.com/podcast, scroll a little bit down to number 227, or you can go in the search bar and just put Happy Home.
Right.
Because the thing is not called the 3 A's of Clutter. It's called Happy Homes.
It's a very good podcast.
It is a great
It's got other
podcast.
stuff like the situational clutter and how it can be related to weight gain.
Oh, yeah.
Very
And
interesting.
stress. She's got a lot of there's a
Very
lot of
interesting
studies in
topics
this
in
one.
there.
So
Yep.
make sure you go do that. And you know what? We're off to the races this week, right?
Yes, we're not here on Friday.
Yeah, we only have 4 shows this week.
Yep.
Unless one of us gets sick or something
I
happens.
I feel like I'm feeling
Oh
balanced.
my
a bit.
gosh, it could be a 3-day week maybe. Who
Yeah.
knows? We'll see what happens.
I
But,
honestly do have a little sore throat, but
I do too, because I went
Do
to
you?
this thing last night where, I don't know, there was some dust in the room, and like for about 2 hours afterwards, I was like, what's going on with this? You know? You know how that works, right?
yeah, you do.
Good.
All right.
All right. So
Let's
we'll have
wrap it up.
We'll have a bunch of stuff. No blogger roundup this week
No
because we're
blogger
not here
roundup.
Friday.
Nope. We'll have Solution Day Thursday, Wednesday podcast Tuesday.
Yeah, we got it
We'll have
all for you.
something, too.
So anyway, come back. We're here 2 p.m. Central, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. myOrganized.life live. Get organized in color at myOrganized.life.
Live, we laugh, we love, and color. Live, we laugh, we love, and color. Live, we laugh, we love, and color.
myOrganized.life.